Hello and welcome to this video tutorial about disintegration effect on Photoshop. That's my tutorial for your class on electives here at GCB, and I hope you enjoyed this class and at this time we don't have any problem with the complete video. Welcome to this video tutorial about Photoshop. I hope you enjoyed this class. Let's start. So this is basically the model, and this is how it is supposed to look at the end. Okay, let's get started. First, we have to download the image in the description of the video. We're going to select the quick selection tool and have to make sure that the add is selected. Okay, we can make it bigger, the size of the brush. We select the entire model very carefully. It's going to be really easy because the back is white. Now we subtract from the selection with the minus. We click in right in the space and then we click on Command J. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna make another layer and then bring the new layer also. I'm gonna rename this white background. Have to also make sure that the foreground color is white and select the paint bucket and paint that part. We have to change the name of the layer and put an effect and then copy. Make a copy of it. Let's name this one called model. So we're going to go back to the effect layer and then we're going to go to filter and select filter liquify. And here maybe it's not going to look exactly like the one you have there because my Photoshop is different. But I want my brush density 11, the pressure 11, and the size 18. And please start moving carefully the forehead of the model. If you make a mistake, Command Z. And then the opacity level is important because it helps us see it. So this is how it's supposed to look like. Now we're going to make a mask. Make sure that the foreground color is black. And now with the paint bucket, let's click on it. Now let's go to the layer called model. And again, let's make a mask of it. And now we're going to select this paintbrush. I included these paintbrushes in the description of the video so you can check it out. This is a part when you are going to do something very carefully. So you're going to start doing some touches on the top and right in that part of the model, little by little, change and resize and frequently, so it doesn't look like you're doing the same over and over again. And if you make a mistake, Command Z and start over. Please use the zoom in, which works with the Z and clicking on your mouse. Do it carefully and take your time, okay? I'm going to do this a little bit faster, just for you. Now let's zoom out, take a look. Now, if you see some little mistakes, make sure that you are in the mask, and then make sure that the foreground is white, and select a solid brush and start, touching those parts that you want to correct. Maybe you don't feel satisfied, and that will work for you, okay? Now it's time to go to the effect mask. Take the same brush, or maybe a little one, I don't know, try a new one if you want. Let's zoom in and start adding the effect. Just like that. And a bit like that. Little by little. Remember that if you don't like the effect at the beginning, you have to click on Command Z or Control Z. But don't do many mistakes, because it will just take you back one time, and then change the frequency, change the pattern, change the angle of the brush. I'm going to make some bigger particles, so I'm going to select my brush again. But now I am going to use these huge particles. So I'll just click once, twice, just a little bit here and there. Looks fine. Okay, I'm going to add the crack texture, and I have it right here. I click and drag, and then I let it go right here. So I'm going to select it by Command T, then I rotate it and resize it. Let's turn the opacity a little bit down so I can see better. The idea is to make this texture to be right on top of the half of the model. So I'm going to now do the right click, select warp, and move the points so that it covers the face of the model, half of the face of the model. Hit enter when you're done. Let's bring the opacity back to 100. And it's going to be looking like that. Now change the blending mode to soft light. And let's go to hue and saturation. Change the saturation to -100. Put up a little bit of lightness to +4. Now click on the layer that has the texture and create a mask of it. Now select the brush tool and pick a brush with the soft layers. Let's zoom in a little bit and start. Just keep the cracks that you actually want to have, right? I'm going to do it my way, but the idea is that you make it in a way that you feel satisfied with the cracks that you see. You don't have to keep them all. Again, be careful with this part, okay? Be careful, take your time, work on the details. Make your brush bigger or smaller. Let's zoom out. And now let's merge all the visible layers with Command Shift Alt E. Now bring that layer to the top. And now it's time to change a little bit, the skin color of the model. So let's increase the clarity to 45, and the temperature, if we want the model to look a little bit pale and this blue tone, so we reduce the temperature, and the exposure we put it up so it makes a big contrast and it gets this white effect. Then hit OK. Good. Let's change the colors, the color of the eyes. You have to do the selecting tool and then just click inside. Make sure that the plus, the added to the selection is on. And then you click on the eyes. Don't worry if it's not perfect. And now we're going to create a new adjustment layer. One is going to be hue and saturation again. I'm going to change a little bit. Let's do this. Let's clip it to the layer, and now let's change the hue. I don't know, plus 30, that's one option, and then saturation plus 50, and then click close. Now let's change to blending mode to linear dodge, and it will, really come up with the colors. Now it's time to make some corrections on the eyes of the model. So let's click on the mask and select the brush with soft edges and start brushing a little bit those parts that look purple and are not supposed to be purple, because it has to be just part of the eye. So I think that works. And take a look. This is how it's supposed to look like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.